That's right, folks. Merry Christmas. Welcome to the Dice Tower Christmas Buying Guide. This is a series of videos. All these games that we're talking about are available online. You can find them at funagaingames.com. Let's get to the video.
Welcome to the Dice Tower, a video show all about board games. Today, we bring you part of our 2012 Christmas Buying Guide. Today, we'll take a look at 5 games. Our category is...
Today, we're going to be taking a look at good gifts for heavy Eurogamers or heavy strategy gamers for the 2012 Christmas season. I'm going to give you 5 games that I think would be great gift ideas for your heavy strategy gamer in your life. Games they might enjoy and would love to see underneath the Christmas tree. So real quick, why don't we go over those 5 games, and then you can decide for yourself whether it's something that your friends or family might enjoy. So now that we've got the introduction to the video, the first game I want to talk to you about real quick is Glory to Rome. Now, all of these games are going to be games that you've seen a review of from either Tom or myself, and this one is probably towards the lighter end of what I would consider to be a heavy game. This is a card game. It's going to play 2 to 5 players, and it's going to be somewhat unique compared to a lot of card games you played. In this game, the leader or the first player is going to either play a role or decide to think. And if they play a role, everyone else in the table will have a chance to follow. If they follow, people will be taking different actions with cards from their hands, be it recruiting new clientele, or playing out a building from their hand, or contributing to a building, or several different other actions, even scoring victory points. But the trick here is that you're trying to manage your cards by using them as resources, by using them as buildings, and by using them as cards with which to take actions. And all of those will be on the same card. Now, this, as I said, is a game that is towards the lighter end of heavy strategy, but is a great one for if you have a short amount of time to play, or if you're just looking for something with few components that has a good amount of strategy to it. So definitely a great suggestion for a card game for your heavy gamer, Glory to Rome by Cambridge Games Factory. The second game on the Dice Tower Heavy Strategy suggestion list for Christmas of 2012 is The Castles of Burgundy, or Die Burgen von Bergen. Now, this is a Eurogame style game by the designer Stefan Feld, who is perhaps my favorite designer. The game will play anywhere from 2 to 4 players and plays in about 90 minutes or so. Now, this is a game which uses a mechanic that's been very popular as of recent called dice management, in which a player rolls dice and then uses those dice to take actions. This one takes place, it has somewhat of a medieval theme, and each player is trying to build up the area around their castles or an area with castles in order to score the most victory points by using dice to take tiles, to place tiles, and to generally ship goods and other things like that. So the best way to score points is to appropriately manage your dice. Now, you'll say dice, it doesn't sound like a very heavy strategy game if it includes dice, but that's not true for this one because there are a lot of ways to use the dice, and on top of that, there are a lot of ways to modify dice and make sure that you can appropriately use them for the actions you want to take. So if you're looking for a game that has a unique strategy, a unique mechanic somewhat, and implements it in a very good way, take a look at The Castles of Burgundy from Alia and Ravensburger by Stefan Feld. Now that we've had both a card game and a typical European game, we have this time Rolling Freight, the third game on my suggestions for Christmas of 2012. This one is a newer game released just this year and is obviously a train game. Again, using dice as a key method to accomplish your goal in the game. Each player will have their own dice that they roll on their turns, and they're going to use these dice to buy different routes that they can place on, to place parts or to help construct their routes, and once they've constructed their routes, to move goods from one position to another in order to score victory points. On top of that, you can use your dice, which instead of being numbered this time or colored, you can use those dice in order to buy upgrades and various other things that will help you accomplish your goals. Now, this game has 2 different maps, one for a little bit of an easier game and one for a more difficult game. It will play 2 to 5 players and is from Ape Games. So if you've got a train gamer in the family or you've got a train gamer friend, I think this is probably one of the best train games I've ever played, especially using that new mechanic, and one that I would suggest for anyone who has an interest in route delivery or route building and delivery games. So now we have a card game, we have a typical Euro game, and we have a train game. But what we don't have yet is a worker placement game, and that's exactly what our fourth game is going to be. It's going to be Dominant Species by GMT Games. This one is for 2 to 6 players and includes a worker placement mechanic, but above and beyond that, you'll say, well, GMT is typically known for war games, and this has a very war gamey feel to it, and that the players are directly competing for areas on the map. They're trying to move around and take out other species while best controlling different areas on their own, and has some very unique feels to it. So you originally place your workers in order to accomplish things out on the board, but the real goal is to have dominance in areas, which is going to be based on what food types your animal can eat and where they are located on those board in perspective to those food types. The game is a relatively long one and is pretty daunting, but if you have a player who loves long strategy games, like 3 hours long, or you have a large play group that you'd like to get a game to the table with, this one will accommodate both of those things. It has a couple different versions now. You have a version with some more basic art that is very clean, easy to look at, and you have a newer version that they've released with a little bit more interesting art. Probably what you would call better art, but maybe not better for the overall function of the game. So if you're looking for a cool biology-themed game where you can evolve animals, change them, and compete with your opponents directly in order to try and take over the land, take a look at Dominant Species from GMT Games. And all of those finally bring us to my biggest, or possibly my favorite suggestion for the heavy strategy gamer at Christmas of 2012. And that is going to be another game by Stefan Feld, who we saw earlier with the Castles of Burgundy. This time we're going to take a look at Trajan. We're not in a worker placement Euro game here. We're not doing trains or anything like that. We're back to a somewhat unique mechanic. In this one, Mr. Feld has taken the game Mancala and adapted it into a mechanic in Trajan. So you're going to be picking up pieces from bowls and moving them around the board in order to try and accomplish your goal for the game, which could be to build buildings, or maybe it's to move your legionnaires around and collect different things and score points. Maybe you're trying to ship goods. There are all of these different things in the games, but all of them are achieved by moving these pieces around a bowl in order to get them in the right positions to take that action. So it's kind of got several different mini games in one. It is possibly one of the most unique feels that I've ever had from a mechanic in a Euro game. It plays anywhere from 2 to 4 players and scales very well for those numbers. It's great with 2, it's great with 4. There's an online implementation if you want to try it before you buy it. You can take a look at that online. And all in all, just a fantastic game from Stefan Feld. So if you've got a heavy gamer in your group or in your life, I definitely suggest Trajan. I don't think you can possibly go wrong. My number one suggestion for the heavy gamer of Christmas 2012. Well, there you have it. That is the Dice Tower 2012 Christmas suggestion list for the heavy gamer. We have Glory to Rome, The Castles of Burgundy, Dominant Species, Rolling Freight, and Trajan. All great games that any heavy Euro gamer or heavy strategy gamer, I think, will really enjoy. Now, obviously, you want to cater these to the preference of your gamer, what you think they might like the most, but I think with those 5 games, there's an option for everyone. Anyhow, thank you for watching the Dice Tower. I hope you have a great holiday season, and good luck with all of your holiday shopping.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower. You can find all the games mentioned today at www.funagaingames.com. Fun Again Games has the world's best selection of board games. Get them now in time for Christmas. If you found this guide useful, pass it on. Tell others, maybe even give it to someone as a guide for what to buy for you. Reviews of most of these games with more details can be found at Dicetower.com. Thanks for watching.